Hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our new moon live stream. Let me know if you can see and hear me okay. It's a little bit of a different setup for me, so I'd love to hear if you are able to see and hear me. If you could just give me a thumb, if you can see and hear me okay. Let's see, can you hear me? Okay. Okay, great. Hi, everyone. How are you doing? Hi. Okay, good. It looks like you can hear me. Wonderful. So I have a slightly different setup today, as you can probably tell if you've joined me for a live stream before. We are by my fireplace, and I have you set up a little bit differently. You are just above my computer, so I am going to probably be looking up and down in order to chat with you here and, see the live chat here. So, how are you all doing? It's a really crazy time. I don't have my headphones on today, as you'll see, but last time we were doing the live stream, I found the sound really relaxing, and it's kind of fun to play with the mic, so I might be doing a bit of that. So happy new moon. I wanted to chat about just a few things before we jump into our new moon ritual and all of that. Just a few small things, and then just wanted to kind of talk just for a second about what's going on in the world. So we have all of our goodies here for this lovely live stream. Our lovely ritual here. Fire, water, and yeah, as far as some little updates go, I wasn't sure if I was going to do this live stream. As a few of you know, last month I wasn't able to do a live stream because one of my pipes in my home burst, which then led to another pipe bursting, and then during a really big storm, our boiler kicked the bucket. So it's a bit of a mess. It's been kind of a rocky road, but just in terms of filming and all of that. But there were some great aspects that came out of this slightly wonky time. One of which is your amazing support, being so, excited about me filming in different locations and being just very graceful and gracious about new filming locations. Kind of made me realize that you don't really care very much where I film, which is really freeing in a way. So I've been filming some here and then some in my bedroom, which are the two places that I'm able to film right now, with things in such disarray. And that's been really freeing. It's also meant that I can kind of, release perfectionism a little bit and just recognize that you're all so incredible. I'm really grateful for you all and for your support and all that. The other reason I was thinking I might not be able to do this live stream today is because hi to everyone who's here. Hi. Um, I've been a little bit under the weather, so I just really wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do it. But I really missed being able to hang out with you last month. I really missed it, and I really wanted to do it. I think that connection is really, really important, especially at a time like this. So that leads nicely into the, you know, sort of next point I wanted to make, or thing I wanted to talk about, which is just sort of what's going on in the world, what's going on globally. And for me, I think having a balance between our inner lives and our outer lives is so important, for my spiritual practice all the time. But I think especially in times like this, times we're in right now, it's so important to have a balance of those two. And by that, I mean inviting a sense of peace within, inviting in a practice that is about self-compassion and self-love and self-discovery, self-knowledge. Supportive meditation practice or mindfulness practice in whatever way for me is really, really helpful. And then balancing that in these kind of like this is such chaotic, fearful, devastating times, to balance that inner work with acting on our convictions and speaking, honestly expressing ourselves and helping in whatever way we can. So that's really what I wanted to say at this time before we begin sort of chatting about the new moon, is just, I think for me, one of the most empowering aspects and a vital aspect of spiritual work is finding balance. A lot of Reiki is about moving towards balance. And so finding a balance between acting on the things that we're passionate about, a balance between acting on the things that we feel very strongly in our lives, expressing ourselves responsibly and respectfully, and staying true to that, while also maintaining that inner connection and the inner light, self-love, self-compassion. I think what can sometimes happen when we are all one or leaning more on the scales towards one or the other is, for example, if we are, going too far in one direction, we could experience burnout. We could become bitter, resentful. We can invite in all kinds of things that we don't want, that we're going to have to heal. And yeah, it's and then if we go in the other direction and we're all inward and we're not moving outward at all, and we're not engaging or trying to help, I think if we do that, then that seems pretty obvious one way that would be. We don't want to be ostriches and just stick our heads in the sand and not engage with the world. I mean, you can do whatever you want to do, obviously, but I think this kind of work is about achieving a balance between those two, helping and also reflecting and all of that. So thank you very much, Gladys. That's really generous. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So this leads us nicely. The reflection idea leads us really nicely into this particular new moon. And I hope you're, I always say, I hope you're doing as well as possible at the time like this. I know it's confusing and scary, and I hope you're doing as well as you possibly can be. And I'm sending you so much love. I missed you last month when we didn't connect in this live stream, even though we connected in all the videos. But yeah. And I guess just for today, just for this little time we have here together, my intention is for us to be together and invite a little bit more love into this time and space. Okay, my love. So new moon in Pisces. Do we have any Pisces babies here? Any Pisces birthdays? If so, happy birthday. I'm sending you love, so much love. Happy birthday. So this new moon can be a great time of, like I said, reflection. It can be a great time for inner healing, for lucid dream work. I have a video that I did on lucid dreaming. If you're interested in that, it can be a great time for self-compassion. So all of these things are in support of that kind of balance that we were talking about. So we might experience during this time more messages coming in from spirit. We might experience at this time sort of imagery, source, guidance coming in. So we can use this new moon as an opportunity, or this time of reflection as an opportunity to get really clear about the questions that we might want to ask. So I'd like to introduce that here, just to start ruminating on. If you were to receive guidance during this cycle, what would you want to ask? What would you want the focus of that guidance to be? Because we've had a super chat. 2 super chats. Thank you so much. I wanted to mention to both of you, to Michelle and Gladys, both of you, that the super chats for this month, you all have been enjoying the sounds of the chimes, so I'm gonna get some more chimes. We'll add that to our little sound medley that we've been building here, and I think those chimes have a really beautiful, peaceful sound. So that's what these will be going to. So thank you. That's very generous. So we're gonna light our candle and set our intention here. Hope you're all doing as well as possible. Like I said, if you're just joining now, welcome. Thanks for being here. How are you all feeling? How are you all doing? Hmm. Okay. Okay, so on behalf of your highest, wisest, most empowered and aligned selves, in loving comfort and perfect balance, I wish to send this supportive, compassionate, loving energy to you to ignite your manifestations for this cycle and to carve out a little bit more care and consideration in whatever way I can. Okay. So if you would like to clarify or specify or even set your own intention, I will leave this flame open for you to do so now if you can see it. And as long as it's in service of your and everyone else's highest, wisest selves, then I will honor that intention and we'll see it through time and space to you. So when I was doing my videos in front of the fire, someone asked if it was a real fire, which I don't know, made me feel quite proud that someone thought that my fire was a fake fire. I think that means I did a good job with it. That's how I'll take it. But no, this is a real fire. Thank you so much, Leo. Peace on earth. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Beautiful. Okay, I think what I'll do for this live stream is we're going to engage in the ritual and then we will chat toward the end. And I will have my lovely moderator, put any notes from the live chat, any questions for me to answer at the end if I missed. That's how we'll try to do it today. All right, I have a little bit of a smudge spray. Oh, right, I filled this one up all the way. I don't like doing that when I'm doing these sessions because I think the sound is so much better when it's less full. C'est la vie. There's no shaking sound. Okay, let's do a little bit of spritzing in the space. Bit of lavender, bit of frankincense. I'm gonna spray around you. Okay. Gorgeous. Oh, there we go. Okay. Pisces is, there we go. Obviously a water sign. I'm a Scorpio, so I feel quite comfortable with this watery energy, self-reflection and all of that. Feel comfortable for me. Looking at the dark side of aspects feels comfortable to me. So I'm wondering how you're feeling during this new moon. I know, depending on lots of different things, the energy of the new moon can feel really different. Obviously, there's a lot going on in the world that will affect how we're feeling. But in terms of this energy, when we were talking last month, a few of you were saying that you feel more comfortable in the full moon energy, in that energy, you usually feel very connected to it. That's when you feel most centered. And for me, I sort of feel the opposite during a full moon. I really like to spend time by myself, go out in nature. But when new moon, it just feels fresh, new beginnings. It feels very spring-like, new moons usually to me. So yeah, I would let you know, I'm curious how you experience this energy. So I'm gonna light a little bit of sage, and we're gonna do some clearing. I have a few stones here that I'd like to use. I have my owl rattle. I have some tarot cards, and generally a few things that I'd really like to invite in. And then I'd like to do a little meditation toward the end of our session here. Okay. All right, let's take a few deep, rejuvenating breaths. Here we go. Deep, fluid, rejuvenating breaths. Try your best to just relax your physical body. It's a good place to start, relaxing your physical body. Deep breath in. You could say on your inhale to yourself or aloud, I fill. On your inhale, I fill. And on your exhale, I empty. Okay. This may be too smoky brown here. So on the inhale, I fill. And on the exhale, I empty. To do things slightly different. Since we're not in my studio. Okay. All right. I'm going to place a few stones. First, gorgeous. I'm going to place this howlite. I think rest, gentleness, relaxation, These are all incredibly important at this time. And so I'm going to place this just before you here. So that's there for you if you want to pick it up. Place it maybe on your brow. And I think we talked about moving from a place of love, which for me has been really helpful and empowering at this time. I also think centering and grounding and relaxing, and then moving from a place of relaxation where you are, finding that balance between empowerment and peace, passion and calm. Just finding a balance in these different aspects can be really helpful. So we have our halite there, and then fluorite. I think this can be really helpful when paired with halite for inviting a sense of focus into if you're doing lucid dream work or self-reflection or any of that. So I'll place this here. That can be a nice one to, again, put on your brow. You could put it on your crown or simply hold both of those in your hands. And I also have rose quartz and blue lace agate for love, compassion, self-compassion, for honest expression, gentle communication. So I just want these to be here as well for you for this. So all really valuable aspects that I think can be incredibly beneficial. So let's start to reconnect, if you're open to it, with the aspects of this new moon. If there was source energy pouring down from the sky, from the cosmos, guiding you, what would you want the focus of that guidance to be? Let's revisit that. What would you want the focus of that guidance to be? What would be maybe your question? What would be your question or questions? It can be a helpful way of really connecting with an intention for this cycle. So if you're open to journal prompts, this would be a nice time to start to connect it with that. So I guess my first or second, depending if you would like to set your intention here, is what aspects of self are you disconnected from? I'll stop scratching. What aspects of self are you disconnected from? This can be a really valuable question to start asking ourselves with this Pisces energy. What aspects of self are you disconnected from? Hmm. I'm sending you so much love, Andrew. So much love. Andrew said, if you're watching the playback, I was watching all your videos and now I would like to ask you make a Reiki for peace in Ukraine. We have war here. People die, kids die. Army is fighting against Russian army. They came with weapons. I'm sending you so much love. So much love. There's, I think, for so many of us, the feeling of hopelessness and helplessness can feel overwhelming. And I think at a time like this, doing our best to connect with ways that we feel we can help, doing our best to be open and see things from a place of love, to recognize that as human beings we're all the same. And you're my brother, Andrew, and we're all connected. So I send you so much love. And at this time, I feel that holding space for whatever you're moving through. I'm here for that as well, to hold space for that pain, all of that. Everywhere in the world. It's amazing when you start to, because hopelessness and helplessness, I think it can be incredibly paralyzing. And so for me, there's great hope when I look at the comments here and see everyone wishing peace to each other. When you connect and reach out and connect with others, I think it's incredibly important and powerful. If you are feeling helpless or hopeless, I am sending you so much love and space. And then we also take action, right? We also do our best to help in ways that we can. It's such a hard time. So I know it's tricky to balance. It's the theme of this session, I think, is balance. To balance these incredibly trying aspects that that we're all facing right now that is to find a balance between, I don't mean that we're all facing, I mean this global event, this, what's happening. And also this when we're talking about our individual lives here, just sort of reading the comments about Ukraine and then reading comments about, things we're trying to manifest at this time, that we are trying to find a balance between moving in our lives and helping in ways that we can, and that I think it requires humility and grace simultaneously. We have to acknowledge that humility and grace, I think, for those of us who are not in Ukraine, then I think it's about that balance. It's about a balance. So it seems that this is, kind of the theme of our live chat right now, which I obviously understand. What I would like to do is we'll finish our journal prompts here, and then I wanted to guide us through a meditation. One of you suggested something in the live chat that I really that's part of the meditation I wanted to guide you through, which was collective Reiki. So why don't we go through the rest of our journal prompts for this new moon, and if you wanted to revisit this or maybe write these prompts down, feel free to do so. So we spoke about what aspects of self you are disconnected from. Now I'd like to ask, how can you show up for yourself this cycle? How can you show up for yourself this cycle? How can you arrive in support of yourself? And if anything, is there something blocking you inside from being able to show up for yourself? Now, what sacred aspects of yourself do you need to protect? Whatever that means for you. What sacred aspects of yourself do you need to protect? And how can you protect those sacred aspects? All right, those are the last of our questions. Hello. I'm going to put another log on the fire, and then I'd like to engage in a little guided meditation if you're up for that. It's tough. So many of you are saying so many amazing things. Okay, here we go. That's not tough. That's wonderful. I just mean I want to. If you're watching the playback, please read the live chat. It's so lovely. Okay. Here we go. Bear with me. close right now to the fire, so it's a little awkward, but there we go. Cool. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Carol. I'm sorry. Thanks. The fire is very relaxing. Okay, I'm going to circle back and look at all these comments. But first, I'd like to do a little meditation. So get as comfortable as you can. Let's take a few deep, rejuvenating breaths together here. Did I bump this? I think I did. Okay. And so for those of you who are attuned to Reiki, who've received your Reiki attunement, then perhaps you could help us here. And for everyone else, what I'd love to do is to do a little Lotus meditation, heart-centered meditation. So for this, let's take, again, a few deep, rejuvenating breaths. Honor yourself with the gift of comfort. Invite in as much comfort as you can. Adjust what needs adjusting. And let's take a few deep, rejuvenating breaths together. So now, I would like to invite you to either close your eyes or just try to release any tension in the eye area, in the face. Release any tension. Now, you may place your hand on your heart and on your low belly if you feel called to. This is a beautiful, enveloping gesture connecting our heart to our emotional center, our creative center. Or you can sit with your hands open. You can really do whatever you want. But I would like to invite you to imagine or call into your inner vision or even feel into the sense of stillness. Imagine stillness. And as you sit in the stillness, imagine this beautiful, glowing lotus flower floating up to you and hovering outside of your heart center. It has a beautiful green chartreusey color with a bright pink on the inside. And it hovers just outside of your heart center, glowing. And as you inhale, you start to recognize that the lotus blossom opens on your inhale and closes on your exhale. And you immediately feel connected with this lotus blossom. So breathe now. And observe as the petals open and close. And now, if you're open to it, invite the lotus blossom to enter into your heart space. And it fills you with light. And as you inhale, the light glows brighter. And as you exhale, it spreads through your entire body. Now you can sit with this lotus blossom, slowly opening and closing, guided by your beautiful life breath, opening and closing. You can sit with this for as long as you would like, allowing it to fill you with light, this beautiful, glimmering, loving light. You can sit with this as long as you'd like. I invite you to now, if you're open to it, to send this lotus blossom to someone who needs it. The belief with the lotus blossom meditation is that when we are open to engaging in this meditation, practicing this meditation, it's because someone has sent it to us. And so now we can send it to someone else. If, again, you are open to it, I would like to invite you to rub your hands together with me. First let me get this splinter out. Oh, there we go. Rub your hands together with me. And for anyone who is attuned to Reiki, you want to draw the activation symbol on the palms of your hands. Feel free to do so now. If you want to draw the distance symbol. And now, for anyone in the world in need of our powerful, loving lotus blossom, I would like for us to send that there. Send this love. So when we do this, we will be placing our hands outward like this, or with our hands together. And imagine sending this flower, inviting it out of your heart, and then sending this flower. So I will draw the symbols on the palms of my hands. I will draw the distance symbol. And then we can together engage in sending love. So now together, imagine this lotus blossom floating out, and we can imagine sending this to anyone who needs it, to anyone who is open to receiving it, on behalf of my and everyone else's highest, wisest, most empowered and aligned selves, in loving comfort and perfect balance. I wish to send this loving energy, the loving energy of anyone who is participating in this now. Send this loving energy to anyone who needs it. You can send it anywhere you'd like. Sending this loving energy to Ukraine, to anyone who wants it, to anyone who needs it. Love and peace, healing. Deep healing. You can imagine this flower floating anywhere in the world. You can imagine it growing as big as you'd like. You can imagine it moving through barriers, across oceans, Send this love through time, through space. Send this love where it is needed. And if you're not attuned to Reiki, sending this intention, sending this love, you need no prerequisites to do this. We can heighten and amplify energy. So as we're taught in our Reiki practice or energetic practice, but you can send this beautiful love. Let's take a few deep rejuvenating breaths here. Okay. So we can come back to presence here, knowing that we are filled with this light always. Thank you, Joe. Thank you. Fire's going out. It's still going. I might put another log in a moment. This is always available to us, this energy, if we want to send it. So while sending energy and healing ourselves within, sending light is incredibly powerful and impactful, I believe, or I wouldn't do this work that I do. I also feel that we must take action as well. In whatever way you feel called to, in whatever way you feel called to, in whatever way you're able. Take action, help where you can. I think learning as well, learning as much as you can. I think we need to take a little bit of time. Breathe. Do our best to relax so that we can respond rather than relax. For me, this is when I make the best decisions I regret the least. So if we can find a way towards peace within, one of you said this beautifully. I'm gonna misquote, but that we heal ourselves and we heal the world. It was something like this, much more eloquent. The way you put it. We may not be able to affect global events, but we can always do our part to carry love and peace in our hearts and treat everyone around us with respect. Beautiful, Michael. So, one of you said, if it felt like collectively cradling the world. It's beautiful. hope that we're I hope that we're able to engage in this way. Often, this kind of connection I feel is incredibly powerful. So, being able to connect with you here and all of that. All right, my loves. So, I'm going to go through and see what some questions that my mod wrote down are from our live stream and see if we can connect with these. Okay, here's a really interesting one, Polly, from earlier in the stream. Hi, question for you. How can I ground to the earth when I am paralyzed? I never connect with my feet. Thank you. And then YM Luna said in response, I love how you all respond to each other. It's so lovely. Hold plants or put some earth/fresh dirt in your hands. Hug a pet. Take deep breaths of fresh air. That's a wonderful, wonderful advice there. Wonderful guidance. So, Polly, my mom was paralyzed she had a stroke, and so she was paralyzed on her left side. And she is actually the reason I got into Reiki, because when she was receiving, there was some aspect of her insurance where she was allowed to, could see an energy healer. And after her energetic session, she was able to move her arm. I'm not suggesting that this is possible for everyone, but it was one of those moments where when she had that experience, this was 15 years ago, I thought, I want to learn how to do that. I want to learn how to do that. So that was really the beginning of my journey. But when I read your question, I thought of my mom and how nature is the first thing I thought of. She was so connected with nature. And I know your situation is very different than hers and all of that, but I think it's absolutely possible to connect with this idea of grounding. In my previous session, we talked about grounding from whatever part of you is being held up. So maybe not sensing specifically into, let's say, your feet or maybe your bum, but sort of sensing, not physically, but just understanding that you are being held. The earth, the energy of the earth is moving up through you. The energy of the earth is holding you up. It's supporting you. There is a beautiful foundation of support holding you up, Polly. And this beautiful foundation of support, really sensing into that, really connecting with that, even if it's imagining that connection, your connection with the earth, this powerful energy that's floating up into you, that powerful energy is there to support you. And this can be the beginning of our connection with that grounding. It's such a powerful force. So as we feel into this, as we imagine this, as we do our best to connect with this can be the beginning of our grounding work. practices that are very grounding can be what YM Luna said, connecting with nature, whether that's holding plants, putting earth or soil in your hands. These are great advice, bits of advice. Hugging a pet. You can take certain essential oils that are a bit more grounding. For me, I love using cedar wood as a very grounding essential oil, as a very grounding aroma. You could fill a little bottle with something like that, and you could surround yourself with it. You can have a grounding candle with that aromatherapy, using our sense of smell to really connect with that grounded energy. There are certain types of sounds, something like drums. Drums can feel very, very grounding. I like to use my owl rattle. It's can be a very grounding sound to connect with. Nostalgia can be very grounding, something that reminds you of maybe your childhood, or reminds you of a time that where you felt supported and protected and held. These can be aspects of grounding that can be very important. If there are any aspects available to you that you can start to connect to, perhaps, I don't know exactly what you're moving through, Polly, but it says you're paralyzed from the chest down. I don't know if you have access to movement in your hands and arms, but if so, grounding can be involved with, feeling into whatever you're on physically, whether that's pushing down. You can't really see what I'm doing, sorry, but pushing down on whatever it is that you're seated on, pushing into something, feeling the weight of your hands, feeling the weight of your body, holding your arms. There are several gestures. I'll try to leave a link to this wonderful, I think she's a PT that I found, where she talks about different gestures for calming the mind that actually have a beautiful, profound impact on our our ability to soothe and relax our minds. This is one of them. This simple gesture can be really powerful. Another one that she presented was placing your middle finger in the palm of your hand, and then moving so that your middle finger is in your other fingers in the palm of your other hand, and going back and forth like so. I'll try to link her so that you can follow. Very helpful. We could go on and talk about this for a while, Polly, but I'm sending you love and thank you for your question. Kelly said grounding is a powerful resource for dealing with trauma. Absolutely. And we have to be prepared for the trauma that is happening now. The events that are happening now are incredibly traumatic. Okay, loves. Let's see. I'm going to respond to a few more. And thank you to everyone who has very generously donated during this live stream. That's very kind of you. Let's see. Okay. Stephen says, Matthew Sanford is a paraplegic yoga teacher in the US. He talks wonderfully on this topic. So Polly, maybe you're familiar with him and his work, but his website is Mind Body Solutions. Thanks for sharing that, Stephen. Humming and focusing on the sound can help you ground. Absolutely. Absolutely. You can connect with the element of wood. You can burn some Palo Santo. All right, let's do a little bit of our owl rattle. Okay, shamanic drumming, yeah, for sure. Okay. Okay. All right, my loves. Thank you so much for joining me. It was such a joy to connect with you. I'm so honored that we're all able to be here together. What a beautiful thing. I'm sending you all love. I have my session for this week will be coming out on Friday since we have our live stream today. So that'll be coming out on Friday, and then I have another one on Sunday. So just know that I love you so much, and I'm sending you so much love and support and healing. And this is part and can be part of a daily practice. For me, that's a really powerful aspect, is to be able to connect with this energy at any time. Someone has to see this up close, so there. Okay, good job. All right. Okay, thank you for joining me. As always, it's just such a pleasure. And until we meet again, be so well. Love to you all.